Hey everyone, Tina Barfield here, and welcome to Writer's Corner. Alright, I'm back, baby! And it is time for me to explain why there was no video last week. So, since I moved to Southwest Utah, I have been compiling a database of places to get in touch with. I've just been doing research, creating lists, and getting people to contact these places so I can speak there, sell my books, etc. It has just been very sales and marketing oriented since I have got here. Additionally, it's starting to get warmer here, and I've been going outside more, though I am still so white. But today, for the moment at least, I have restrained myself to being inside to do this video, which I'm actually pretty excited about, and it is going to be the Authortube Newbie tag, because I am a newbie in Authortube. So, Authortube Newbie tag, away! The camera is still. Alright, Noah, what the crap is Authortube? Well, Authortube is a growing community of authors on YouTube. There are others who have explained it better than I have, I know, because I've watched their videos and they do a much better job. But basically, Authortube, growing community of authors on YouTube. So as with most tags, there are a list of questions that I have to answer, so prepare to hear me rant and ramble about myself. Question 1. How did you find out about Authortube? I'm pretty sure I found out about Authortube while I was talking, I don't remember what about, on the Go Teen Writers Community Facebook group, because I am still a teenager. And someone mentioned it in a comment, I think. I decided to check it out. Maybe I watched their video and it led me to other videos. I don't know. It was a comment on a Facebook group. Question 2. What genres do you write in? I think the better question is, what genres don't I write in? Yeah. But seriously, I do write in a lot of genres, though Legendland is an action dark fantasy novel, so I guess that's my primary genre, dark fantasy, considering that's the genre my published book is in. But I like to write in a lot of different things. Dystopian, sci-fi, all different types of fantasy, action, thriller. I really like horror. Question 3. What is your preferred tense, point of view, and category of story? I actually prefer the present tense because I like my stories to feel like they're actually happening and not an account of something that has already happened. So I like to feel that my stories are something that someone is experiencing at that moment, whether that happens to be the characters or the reader. As for point of view, I like all of them. But I guess I really like first person because it's very intimate, it's personal, and I'm good at it. You get to really get inside these characters' heads if it's done well. And as for category of story, I will write books for anyone who likes books. I write books for bookworms, though I don't really know what to categorize my story as. I guess new adult maybe? Regular adults? I honestly don't know. Question 4. Are you any one of the following ridiculous names? Plotter, Pantser, or Plancer? For the record, I really don't like how any of those words sound. I really don't like it at all, and I don't like how they sound whenever they are applied to me or any writer that I respect. But I guess I'm a Plancer. But I outline a little bit just in some overall, not too detailed, just to give me a general direction of where to go, and then I write a lot, and then I'll get inspired, but then I'll outline what has inspired me so that way it's implemented into the story in a coherent, structured fashion, which I'm pretty sure, if I have to use these names, makes me a Plancer. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? In case you couldn't tell what that mad cackle meant, I'm published. Prepare for a long question. What publishing house, literary agent, or printing company are you represented by or use? If you are not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? I'm part of the publishing company Indigo River Publishing, under a co-publishing agreement. Yeah. Question number 7. What Authortube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? This channel. Basically writing tips and advice, mostly geared towards a younger audience, though it's accessible to basically anyone of any age or writing experience, because I do my best to relate my own personal experiences and unique things that have happened to me, as well as fact-check research that I bring to you that's hopefully helpful, coupled with humor and nerd quips and all of that, and raising and lowering the pitch of my voice to make it a little more entertaining. Question 8. When did you start writing? Oh, I have not even begun to write. Though in all seriousness, I've been writing since I was like 5 years old. I started writing in kindergarten, whenever it was mandated, and then I realized, hey, I'm good at this, and I like it, and I don't have to do math. Because in kindergarten, if you're writing, they don't make you do math. Question 9. What was the first story you wrote? You mean actually wrote down or in my head? Because boy, you do not want to get into that. But I guess the first story I wrote down was whenever I was like 8, around 3rd grade, and it was basically about a story where school was prison. Yeah. But many of the characters in that story either had the same names as people I knew, myself, or my friends. You know that copyright section where it's like, any resemblance to persons living or dead is purely coincidental? Not so true in my first story. It wasn't the greatest. I was 8 years old. Though after I wrote this shoddy YA 10-page action story, I started writing fantasy in earnest. My first fantasy thing was like 30 pages long, and then the next one was 40, and I was just heavily inspired by my voracious reading of the Secrets of Drune series whenever I was like 8 or 9, and there was lots of magic, and knights, and bounty hunters, and it was really fun. I would love to turn that into maybe a children's story later, if I still have the copy somewhere. Question 10. What authors inspire you the most? This list it goes on forever, but I'll try and keep it shorter. So big influences include J.K. Rowling, Christopher Paolini, Orson Scott Card, Frank Fedor, Derek Landy, Oscar Wilde, Edgar Allan Poe, H.P. Lovecraft, Mary Shelley, recently Leigh Bardugo, Anthony Horowitz, Ian Colfer, just a whole host of people that really influenced me whenever I read them younger and have continued to influence me today. Question 11. Yeah, 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions, or do you write whenever you just have the time? I guess I tend to schedule my writing sessions recently, simply because my biggest focus right now is in the sales and marketing aspects to get Legendland to be a commercial success, which means that writing has been pushed to the back burner. So like everything in my day, it has to be scheduled into the time slots I have available, and oftentimes I don't have enough time to write. So I guess I schedule writing in whenever I have the time to actually schedule it in, if that makes any sense. Question 12, I'm gonna stop using my hands. Question 12, do you type on a computer, by hand, typewriter, or do you use a blend of these? Also, where do you write? Well, alright, we're getting a little intrusive now, but I guess this was to be expected. Most of the time, I type my stories out on the computer, but I outline by hand. This is because I'm able to keep my stories more organized and flowing better whenever I do it by hand because I have more time to think. While whenever I'm writing, I can type like 100 words a minute, and even though most of those words have to be edited or erased later down the road, it ultimately proves to be more efficient because I'm faster. Whenever I handwrite, it's commonly in either neat print or loopy, pretty cursive. And if I use the typewriter, which I have before and the keys get stuck all the time, or if I wrote my stories by hand, I would have to transcribe or pay someone to transcribe these stories onto the computer so I could send it as a virtual document to my publishers and editors, and that's just a hassle. As for where I work, it tends to be wherever I sit my new work laptop down. I'm commonly working at the dining room table with my earbuds in. Now the last and final question, question 13. What are you looking forward to most now that you're part of Authortube? I guess what I'm looking forward to most is being part of this big community, having a place where people help each other, where we have resources and we have done research and we all have different tips and advice and experiences. And also, it's a great place for me to just find all of the writing videos I could ever want to watch in one place. But that's all for the Authortube Newbie tag because they're out of questions and I'm getting tired of answering them. Now we move on to the bragging section. You can get my book, Legendland, this fantastic piece of literature right here, on a plethora of places. You can get it on iTunes, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Smashwords, my publisher's website, or my website, www.arc-strom.com, which we're constantly improving, and if you order off of there, I'll personally sign it for you. Just having my beautiful book and wonderful signature is enough for you? Of course it's not. If these intrusive questions are a statement to anything, it's that you want to stalk me online. So you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Wattpad, Goodreads, and obviously on YouTube, where you should not forget to subscribe or comment. Got requests, questions, want writing advice? If you don't see what you're looking for in my YouTube videos, you can always contact me. Head over to www.arc-strom.com, click the little contact button, and as long as it is not deeply personal or spam, I won't throw it in the incinerator, and I will answer all of your questions. I hope you enjoyed this video, that you liked me ranting and rambling. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and I hope that in the future, you continue to enjoy.